The Minnesota Vikings have been active in the last week. 53-man rooster cutdowns. You had a bunch of trades. You had a bunch of signings. You had a bunch of surprise waves. All that stuff as Kwesi is remaking the rooster ahead of week one, getting ready to hoist St. Jerome Barty for the first time of 12 times in the next 10 years. But the entire offseason has circled around free agent Ndamukong Suh. Just like the will they, won't they, Jim, Pam from The Office dynamic, Sam and Diane from Cheers if you're of a certain age. I'm not even that old. Anyway, but the Vikings potentially bringing in the former Lions, former Rams, former Bucks defensive lineman, bring some nasty to the D-line. Is it going to happen? Is all this finally going to come to fruition? Well, Darren Wolfson, KSTP Sports chimes in. It could happen. Yeah. This is what he said. Quote, I do wonder about Ndamukong Suh. Like you, Judd Zolgad, I've heard of recent dialogue. My sense is it's more Suh's agent initiating that dialogue. His agent just said, whoa, the Vikings just waived Armon Watts. Okay. More than ever, my client makes all the sense in the world to land in Minnesota. Now, we know that Kwesi maybe doesn't return phone calls as per the J.C. Treader situation, but the Vikings have certainly been reported that they've been listening. There has been recent dialogue, but I just don't know if the Vikings are willing to pay Suh what he's looking for. So Suh needs to come off that $8 or $9 million ledge, but if he wants to take less, I'm inclined to think the Vikings are willing to bring him in. I have a hard time believing the Vikings are paying him $8 or $9 million. Now, this could just be the agent playing hardball, and of course Suh being a veteran and not wanting to do all of the training camp or preseason, all that stuff, and he is a veteran. Plus, he's a defensive lineman. He can come play a rotational role. So it's not an offensive lineman who's going to be out there every single play. Really needs to be in camp and really develop that chemistry. So he's just biding his time. But also, I mean, what's better? $5 million or zero, all right? So if you sit out the season, you make zero, and no one wins in that situation. And of course, like we said, this entire offseason, it's been going back and forth reportedly. The Vikings had interest, and Ndamukong Suh's agent obviously has interest because it's the start of the season. And if they sign before the season, that contract is fully guaranteed. But after week one, anything goes. And Ndamukong Suh, yes, he is 35. No, he is not that defensive player of the year caliber player that he was at the beginning of his career with the Lions, where he was a multi-time All-Pro, multi-time Pro Bowler. But he did get after it last year. 43 pressures, 6 sacks in 2021. Now, he also did post his lowest PFF grade of his career last season, but I don't think that he is that starter guy that you're going to rely on for 800, 900 snaps a season. You're just not going to do that. But can he be a rock-solid rotational guy, get after the passer, and if you keep him fresh later in games, later in the season, I mean, it's a fantastic idea. And salary-wise, I mean, he like we said, he's not getting 8 or 9. And the Vikings are up against the salary cap as of right now after all the trades, as well as factoring in the practice squad and the salary cap going from top 51 to 53. I mean, the Vikings had a decent amount of cap space like 2 seconds ago, but that gone. $2.2 million. Now they're going to need a couple million just to get through the season and going through all the attrition that every team goes through. But I mean, the Vikings, we know. And the easiest way to free up money is that, did you know that Eric Kendricks has the highest base salary on the Vikings this year at $9.15 million? So with just a simple restructure, again, that can be done like that. Most of the contracts are written that way. The player gets the same amount of money. They just get it upfront in a rooster bonus. The Vikings could free up $7 million in cap space. And also, I mean, Ndamukong Suh, he's not going to be getting the $8 or $9 million bucks. The Vikings aren't going to pay it. The Raiders aren't going to pay it. I don't think there's any other team that's champing at the bit just toss them all that money. But can we do 5? Can we do 5 with some incentives? I think that might be the best offer that he gets. And, I mean, just look at this. Where I do like Jonathan Bullard. I think he's finally starting to round out some of that potential that made him a day 2 pick coming out of Florida with the Bears. And Bullard, I mean, he is that 5 tech. That is his job. Now, Ndamukong Suh has played 3 tech primarily. He's played 5 tech. He's moved all along the defensive line. And I do think that he can get after it. Here's what you do. Bullard, early rundowns, let him do his thing. Keep Ndamukong Suh fresh for later in games and later in the season. And then on passing downs, let Suh kick inside. Let him be the 5 tech. Let him wind up as a 5'9". Don't care. Just get him on the field and get after, man. Like, passing downs where you have Daniil and Za'Darius, obviously. Maybe you get Wanham in there, and then you got Ndamukong Suh, maybe Ross Blacklock. Man, sexy times. So I still think that it's going to happen. Maybe the Vikings are going to see how it goes of Bullard and Blacklock first couple weeks, and then maybe if it's not going so well, maybe they're knocking on Ndamukong Suh's door. It's possible. But I think that the agent is sort of also puffing his chest out a little bit. It's like, we won't settle for nothing less than $8 or $9 million. Well, you ain't going to get that, and as time goes on, that dollar amount goes down. So best offer right now, take it or leave it, $5.5 million plus $1.5 million in incentives, of some likely to be earned, some not likely to be earned. Let's go. Let's go hoist that Jerome Barty. Get yourself another ring. Come on, man. Come on. But your thoughts are thoughts. Ndamukong Suh and the Vikings reportedly had recent dialogue. Something's going to happen, man. Your thoughts and our thoughts, yes. Comment section, you know what to do. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.